I live inside my own world of make-believe.
Welcome, fellow Fusionaires, Carrot King here, and today we are playing Vampires. Vampires used to be one of the best decks because they had a lot of options, and they have a lot of strengths because they are able to summon out Plasma and search it out with the skill Bring It. Because Bring It, if you lose 1,000 life points, you can shuffle back one card from your hand to your deck and add a level 8 warrior from Dark Warrior from your deck to your hand, so you can search out your Destiny Hero Plasma. Besides that, we are running 3 Kazuki and 3 Samurai Skull. Both of them have the effect to send a zombie from your deck to your graveyard. Samurai Skull does it when he's normal summoned. Kazuki can do it once per turn. Besides that, Samurai Skull has the effect where if it is removed from the field by your opponent's card effect, you can special summon a zombie from your deck, so you can summon out your Kazuki, using that effect to be able to have more board presence. Kazuki has the effect, besides the once per turn sending a zombie to the graveyard, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish a zombie-type monster from your grave, except for itself, to special summon one zombie-type monster from your hand, so you can use this to bypass summoning and summon some of your bigger vampire monsters. Alright, besides that, we have the main way the deck works. We have Vampire Retainer and Vampire Familiar. Both of these cards have the effect where you can special summon this card by paying 500 life points. And basically, you have to discard a vampire card from your hand. So you can discard the field spell, any of your vampire cards. You can discard the other one, so you're able to discard the Familiar to summon Retainer. But you can't send Retainer for Retainer, so you have to be careful about how you manage your hand of that. But when you summon either one of them, they both have the discard a vampire to summon, except for itself. So both of them summon, but the difference is Retainer will search a vampire spell or trap, and it summons to the field when you discard. So you summon to the field, and then you pay 500 life points to search a spell or trap for vampires. And Familiar has it where when it summons to the field, you can pay 500 life points to search a vampire monster, which works very well if you have the Vampire's Domain, because it lets you tribute summon again into something like Vampire Grace. Besides that, we are running Vampire Grace, who works really well with the field spell. I'm going to go over the field spell first. The field spell basically has it where all zombie-type monsters gain 500 attack, so your Kazuki will be 2200, and you have some pretty good stats. This will be 1700. You have actually some pretty good offensive stats and defensive stats, because either attack or defense, or whether they attack to you or not. Besides that, once per turn, when a card is sent from your opponent's deck to the graveyard, target one card in the field, send one Dark Vampire monster, which you have a lot of them, from your deck to the hand or deck to the graveyard, and then destroy that target. So you can use that to send another Retainer, or Familiar, or if they're already in your hand or grave, you can send your Grace or Vamp need be, Vampire Vamp. Basically, this works very well, because it is good removal, and you can use it with Vampire Grace. Vampire Grace has the effect of basically when a level 5 or higher zombie-type monster is summoned to your side of the field by the effect of a zombie-type monster, this card's in your graveyard, you can pay 2,000 life points and special summon it. That's less relevant, but the other effect is once per turn, you can declare one card type, monster, spell, or trap, and then your opponent has to send one type of that card from their deck to the graveyard. It's basically, you can assume what they have, probably have monsters, you can pick monsters. Traps, they make their Treacherous dead if they're running Treacherous. You just have to be careful because they don't send anything, you don't get destruction, so you want to make sure you are picking the right card so you actually get your field spell going. Besides that, it's 2,000 attack, 2,500 with the field spell, and so they work really well because this will send something, pop something, and you get a Retainer or something engraved that you can search another vampire card by using their effect. It's very easy to get the Bring It effect because if you summon a Retainer and a Familiar, your skill is already live past that point. Then we have the I'm going to go over the Vamp first. Let's do a Vampire Vamp. This card basically, once per turn, when this card or a vampire monster is normal summoned, except for the weird ones like Orcus and Koala, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls whose attack is higher than this card's, equip it to this card. So basically you can, if they have a Blue Eyes, summon this, equip it, it's now 5,000. Really good removal, helps you get past bigger monsters. Does not work as Cocytus, that's why you really need the Plasma. Plasma is your only out to Cocytus. Vampire Vamp basically has a weird effect where Let's see, this is, you can target one face-up monster, yeah. If this card is sent to the graveyard while equipped with a card by this effect, special summon this card from the grave so it can summon itself back if it is removed with having an equipped spell. So that's actually pretty relevant. And it can be pretty good. Besides that, we have the... Yeah, her effect only goes off in normal summon though, so you won't be able to special summon her back and get the effect right away at the... Summon out your Grace or something past next turn and still have her on the field. Besides that, we have Vampire's Domain. Once per turn, you can pay 500 life points, and then during your main phase's turn, you can normal summon one vampire monster in addition to your normal summon / set. So even if this card leaves the field, so you'll be able to use this. You can send this because your familiar and retainer can send off the field too. I forgot to mention that. So you can send from hand or field to be able to get the summon from them in the search. So you'll be able to use this, then get your send to the grave to search, and then you're able to do stuff. Basically, besides that, if you're able to keep it on the field, you can lose each time your vampire monster would inflict battle damage to your opponent, gain the same amount of life points. So basically, you can use it to get some life points back, and be able to sustain your opponent. Then we have Vampire Takeover. This one can be really, really relevant if you have no cards in your field zone, and all face-up monsters you control minimum 1 are zombie-type monsters. Activate one Vampire Kingdom directly from your deck. That's a good way to keep it where you'd have your Vampire Kingdom alive and protected. You can use that in damage step, or no, it wouldn't be damage step, but you can do it in the battle step, and it would apply the boost to your monsters. And then basically, but that's only if you don't use a special summon effect, because it has then you can special summon one Dark Vampire monster from your graveyard in face-up defense position. You can only use one Vampire Takeover per turn, so you usually want to use that later to summon back your Vampire Grace, so you can send this to the graveyard and then get it back with the Vampire Takeover. Then we have 2 Stroke Rebos. We want to lose some life points, but not the duel, so we have ways to deal with that. And we want to protect our Grace, so we can pop cards on our opponent's side of the field. Besides that, we're running just random fusions. And not too much besides that. The deck's pretty straightforward, has a bit of a toolbox, but it's pretty good overall. They brought back the Samurai Skull of 3, so you're able to play it full power. Econ is one option you can do in this deck, because you summon a lot of monsters very easily. But Plasma is the main focus of the deck, so that's the deck. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what kind of decks you want to see in the future. I appreciate you guys. Now the gameplay. Alrighty, going first. It's Yami Yugi. It's got familiars, so we'll set familiar and set takeover. We won't be able to use takeover because we don't have this face up, but if this goes to the graveyard, we can use the effect. Palace of the Elemental Lords. He'll search out the Nalu. Okay, so it looks like we'll have to use the plasma to get over it. So unfortunately, we were kind of scared of the back row. So he'll right away fuse into Nala, or Nala into the water one Cockatus. So there's 3 cards left in hand, and probably has 2 back row or 3. Yep, 2 back row, adds Invoker back to hand. Oof. And tax into familiar. Yep, sounds about right. So unfortunately, we can't just summon the vampire, the vampire vamp. Oof. Okay, so we can activate this. Send Grace to the grave. Summon this in defense. Use the effect. We're going to search out the... I don't think Retainer would be worth it. Your turn toggle on here, actually. In case they floodgate, we want to be able to use our takeover. So wait there, let's add Grace to hand. Let's see, the field spells once per turn. Swap to play this a little slower than we would like. But he can't attack this next turn, so it works out. So takeover. So we're going to remove his back row, so if we get out the plasma, we are able to remove his monster. Let's see if he's playing Invoked. Kind of just want to send traps to his grave. Void Trap Hole, that's fine. Honestly, any back row we can get rid of, we are happy with. So, the cool thing is when we get this effect off, we can send a Retainer. So we want to send a trap card. Monster's the worst thing we can do. But we don't want, like, we want to remove his floodgates, so. Like, things that stop our plasma. That's our biggest concern right now. So we'll send Retainer. Concentrating Current, that's a good card to hit. And then I guess we just pass turn. If he sets in their back row next turn, we can pop it. If we summon Plasma, he won't be able to Mollyhue. So he's in a tight position. He can't attack because he searched with Palace last turn. So it doesn't really matter what he summons. Really? I guess he has Invocation in hand? Yeah, there we go. Okay. That's fun. I think he forgot. Alright, my turn. Draw. Gazuki. Alrighty, so we can do some fun stuff here. So which one should we do first? I think we want to use Grace's effect first. To send a trap. We just want anything that can be problematic out of his deck. And we will destroy... Purgatrio sound good? Yeah, let's do Purgatrio. Why not? Let's send our second Retainer. So now we can do it where we use our Retainer to send our Familiar. Retainer can search a vampire spell or trap, and we can now use our skill. We kind of want to keep the Circariba, so we'll send back the Gazuki. Let's think here. Guess we'll do Kingdom, why not? So use Familiar. Send the second Kingdom from the hand. That works out pretty well. And defense. Yes. Might as well at this point. And we have not normal summoned yet. So does he respond? I'm surprised he hasn't yet. I mean, he'd just be waiting. See, activate skill. Yeah, we'll do Vamp back. One, two, three. Destiny Hero Plasma. Let's go. Gotta get the animation. Yeah, such a cool animation. Bloody. Destiny Hero Bloody. Negated. You don't have effects anymore. So first we'll take your cactus. It's mine now. Then I think we'll normal. Do anything else let's descend? Let's see. Let's battle. You'll attack you. That's search, so we'll just pass turn past that point. Invoker can't search invocation. Oh, he's the back row though. That's a problem. Yes! Okay, there we go. Yep, could not play through it because he couldn't get his fusions off. Cool. Next game. Going first. Ooh, rank up against Seto Kaiba. Guess I've been doing well. Let's send... Retainer sounds better to have set. Retainer, send familiar. Search. Card. Familiar, send. I'll make it work. Sage with eyes of blue. So I'm scared of that back row. So we want to pop that with Grace and then go for Vampire Vamp. Sounds like the best play. So that means we need to draw one of the... We either need the field spell or the Dragon Spirit White. I guess he has all blue eyes in his hand. Oof, not what we wanted, but we'll make do. We'll see what we can do with this hand. Defense, why not? Yes. Chaos Hunter. Okay. So that gives me a little more comfort, because I know his back row at worst is Floodgate, but I know it's not a more problematic card. Let's see. So Kingdom would be good. Kingdom would let me pop. I can search a monster. And I can summon, so... I think I want to go for Vamp Vamp this turn. So I think I want Takeover. May sell Floodgate. We have Sphere Karibo. Yeah, I'll leave Takeover. Familiar, we'll send our Grace. And search our Vamp Vamp. Vamp Vamp will suck up the alternative. Or we can summon Plasma. Oh, we'll wait on Plasma. Yes. At least it's right away. Give me the alternative. Probably Floodgate. Yeah, I thought so. So I guess get rid of it. Cool. Guess we set and pass then. You can add that back to hand, so as long as he doesn't draw blue eyes, we're not in the bad spot. Their back row. Oof. You can still summon it, but I don't know why. Yeah, we'll Sphere. I don't want to, but I need to be able to use my skills. My effects and everything. Let's see, bring it, so... Let's see here, Retainer, search his spell, yeah, we'll do that. I have to send Grace, yeah. This is why we Sphere Karibo before. Is that another Floodgate? Really? Okay. We'll take it out now. Because we'll get a field spell, and then we can pop the back row. Yes. Or we can do Vamp Vamp. The vampire's normal summon. I don't think we have any we can normal summon, so we'll do Grace. Still works. Then Vampire's Domain. So we'll activate the effect first, get rid of that back row. Do traps. Karma Cut, okay. That's what we expected. Still, let's just pop a card though. And we can send Retainer. Why not? Activate Domain. Is it worth using the effect? It's not really worth it. Thinking about it, actually. Familiar, we'll send our Domain. Cool, there we go. Yeah, we would have gotten Plasma and then gone for game, so it would have worked. Cool, next game. Going second. Ooh, he's on rank up. Let's prevent that. So, domain takeover. So, we want to search a monster. We kind of need another vampire. We want Retainer or the bat thing. So, we can send one, but we want to send the other from the hand. Oof, that's a very Invoker board if I've ever seen one. Vampire Kingdom. Well, we'll do Samurai Skull in case he has something to affect my board. Yep, Fiendish Chain. I guess we just stat take over. And activate Domain, why not? End turn. It's like, no, we'd much rather him use Fiendish Chain right now than later. Because we want our playmakers to do plays, not have to play through back row that hurts us. Now we'll save that. Ooh, Vampire Grace. So, first let's use this, because this will give us an extra normal summon. We want him to floodgate our Grace or use his back row on this right now. Okay, yes, we activate Kingdom. Activate Grace. Send a trap. I'm gonna pop his monster. Since we think this is Invoker, and we don't want to get any search for Invocation. We can send a card. Cool. Let's do Retainer. Do Domain, and we have Lethal if he doesn't have anything, so. Yes. Turns off our field spell, but we can shuffle it back. And then our other thing will be live. Kind of afraid of drowning right now. Familiar Engrave, that works. Battle. Gazuki. Mirror Wall, okay, we can deal with that. So, we're gonna let him get a search. Another mirror wall. He's gonna get the search either way. Well, this has it where he can't pay for his walls at least, so we have some counterplay. Not really, but the idea is there. All we know is he doesn't have invocation, and so he needs to have a monster in hand that he can fusion with, and invocation or invoker. So if this is a trap or something he can't use, then we're in a pretty good spot, which is pretty likely because invokers run a lot of floodgates in back row that stops us from doing stuff. Let's see, so we use Grace for thumbnail? Nah. Use Vamp or Plasma. Now Plasma won't work. We would do Plasma, but this is more of a vampire deck, so we'll do something different. Thought so. Palace, he can swing over our Grace with Mollyhue. And if Mollyhue dies, or if he uses the effect, he'd be able to yeah, you'll flip Grace face down. And swing over Grace. Oh, he sent a card from his deck to the graveyard. You all know what that means. Goodbye, Mollyhue. It's hard to think about. Like, I've played Red Eyes 2 enough to verse vampires where you use Red Eyes Fusion just to have your Red Eyes Slash Dragon popped. It sucks. It really does. Let's see, does he have response? I don't think it really matters, because we will get rid of whatever that is. Trap. This is the end. Goodbye to your face down. Pop. Ooh, okay. Well, let's finish with vampires, I guess. Or, no, let's go nah, we'll finish with vampires. Grace attack. Woo! 2,500 with that boost. People forget about it too, so that field spell comes in handy very often. Cool. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe and let me know what kind of decks you want to see in the future. You guys keep me going. I appreciate you. Keep fusioning. Let's go Slash.